welcome to the fourth tutorial for the Modular Sci-Fi Warriors. In this tutorial we're going to look at setting up a metahuman character to work with our advanced character blueprint so that we can have all the customization working with our metahumans. Okay, so even if you don't plan on using metahumans with your characters, I still recommend you watch this video so that you can learn how to parent a blueprint to another blueprint. This can be useful in a case whereby, let's say you've downloaded a third-person shooter blueprint from the marketplace, okay, and you want all this customization and the characters to work with that third-person shooter blueprint which you downloaded from the marketplace. One of the easiest ways you can get that to happen is by simply parenting your blueprint to that blueprint you want it to work with. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can do that now. We're going to add a metahuman blueprint to our project. I think we've got the advanced level loaded here. To load that level, just open Content, Sci-Fi Warriors, Maps, Advanced Character BP map. Okay, so we're going to add a metahuman here. Let's go to the window, open up Quixel Bridge, and open up Metahumans. Let's go to My Metahumans. I'm going to load up, actually I think I already have her loaded. I wanted to load up Matilda here. If your metahuman isn't already loaded up, simply just add it, but I've already got mine loaded up. So under metahumans, Matilda, yeah, it's already there. So yeah, let's use that. So yours is gonna appear as whatever you've named it as. I'd already set it up. I don't really need this. Maybe I'll just delete it. Yeah, let me delete that. So now Matilda blueprint. I can even rename it, leave that from 1 and make a duplicate so that we have an extra copy in case we do something wrong. Okay, so let's open up our metahuman blueprint. Okay, you can create an extra copy if you want. You don't have to, but I always recommend creating an extra copy. If something goes wrong, you can always use the extra copy to start again. So we open this up, and basically the first thing we want to do is parent our metahuman blueprint to our advanced character blueprint. So you can do that by simply going on File, Reparent Blueprint, hit that and search for advanced character, and we've parented it. Okay, that's the process. And we also want to parent our root to the mesh of our advanced character blueprint. So let's maximize this. Grab the root and drop it over the mesh. So now our metahuman is parented to the mesh of the advanced character blueprint. They're not in the same position, so let's just put them in the same position by zeroing out all the transform information. So 0, 0, everything, just set it to 0 and everything will be positioned correctly. Okay, so let's compile that and save. Always save. Okay, don't always save. Sometimes you might mess something up and want to go back. That was up to you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make some changes to this. If you can see, the body is different. Okay, want to add a short female body to this. We could also add that female body that comes with this pack that is under skeleton meshes, UE5 skeletons. There is a female body in here, female base, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use one that's built to more match this body. So if you look under skeleton meshes, there is tall, medium, female, and there is a tall, medium, female body here. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. So let us replace the body of our metahuman with this. Okay, and then let's make let's reset the material to its original material. Okay, so that fits better than this tall thing. So we don't need this tall body. We're not going to delete it. We are still going to use it actually, so we do need it, we just don't need it to be visible. So let's go under the search panel of the details and type visibility there. Let's set visibility to false, and just make sure that always tick pose and refresh bones is selected. Okay, and we're going to do the same for the head. This head is inside that helmet, so I can't really see it clearly, but we want to do the same thing for the head. Okay, so under visibility, let's set it to false, and let's set always tick and refresh bones. Okay, and let's compile that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do here is we've got slippers here. Let's just set those to not be visible. Or we could just clear them in case we want to use the skeletal mesh component. Let's just clear this. Okay, let's save that. Compile. Okay, and the next thing we want to do now is we want to add a blueprint that's specific to this mesh. Okay, so with this mesh selected, let's go under animation class, and let's add let's go to animations and animations tall, medium, female. Let's add this ABP female skeleton, okay, to the animation class. Okay, so now we've got animations working, and the next thing we're going to do is right now we've got two animation classes running here, so we don't want this animation class that's on this helmet or any of the other assets to be affecting us, quite frankly. So except for the mesh, let's select hair, let's select helmet, let's select chest and bottoms, and let's set animation class to none. It says none, but it's not on none. We can clearly see that it's working there. Let's set it to none. Let's just go through them one by one and make sure that it's all none. We just do it just for good measure. Sometimes the stuff doesn't work, especially with the MetaHuman blueprint. One thing I notice is that sometimes something can say none, but it's really not none. Sometimes the mesh can still be appearing there and saying none, and stuff like that. You know, so just to be sure. Okay, let's compile that, and okay, for now we are good like this. It's okay like this. This is working from the components part. We're going to keep using this helmet and the chest and the bottoms because this is where these are the meshes that the customization from the third person blueprint, from the advanced third person blueprint, these are the meshes which it sets. Okay, so for the customization to work, we have to keep using this. We could use like torso, legs and face under the MetaHuman blueprint, but then the customization won't work. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna keep all this even though they're set to none. We're gonna go to the event graph, and we're going to add some functions here. Okay, so first function I want to add is I want these meshes to follow my MetaHuman's body. Okay, the result won't appear until we click the play button, but we want them to follow the MetaHuman's body and the MetaHuman's animation. Okay, so we're going to do that by dragging these assets and adding them to our event graph. Okay, I'm just going to show you why we have to do that. I'll save everything and find this MetaHuman blueprint. Let's delete this advanced character blueprint and drag this onto the level. So now if I click play, first I'm going to pause this, player 0, and then click play. So basically I'm sure you can tell that that helmet is not moving along with the metahuman body, so we need to set the metahuman body as the leader now. Okay. Also, if you hit play, you can't really move around the way we were able to move around before and all the rest of that stuff. So we're gonna fix that as well. But first of all, let's add an event here, or add a node. We're going to look for leader pose component. Set leader pose component. Okay, so what this is going to do is, let's connect that to event begin play. What this is going to do is it is going to add a new leader for these components to follow. That's the helmet, the chest, the hair, and the bottoms. We want it to follow the body. Okay, this is the metahumans body. Okay, we are going to add that as new leader. Okay, it's the metahumans body, but it is using that skeleton mesh that we set, that armor mesh that we set before. Okay, so now if I compile that, save it out, and click on play, you will now see that it's now moving together with the body. The helmet is moving together with the body, but I still can't control my character, so we're gonna fix that next. Okay, let's save that out, and let us add some functions to this. Okay, that will allow us to move the character around. So the reason why we can't move the character around is because event begin play in the advanced character blueprint is not functioning right now. Okay, so let's go to blueprints, advanced character blueprints. Remember, this is the parent now. Let's open that, and in the advanced character blueprints, under event begin play, this is not functioning when we're just simply having the metahuman blueprint in the level. We need to call it in order for it to function. Okay, so the way we do that is we make actually a new event begin play that is for the metahuman. Okay, so this is, if you watched the earlier videos, we had to do this in the earlier video with the simple character blueprint, but it also has to be done with the advanced character blueprint. It's just that I've already made the custom event in advance for you guys, because it calls quite a number of functions that relate to the metahuman. So what we're going to do now is we're going to call this function in the metahuman. Okay, so if I click on Matilda, the Matilda blueprint, I can now type meta begin play, and that will be available. Okay, because it's already there in the advanced character blueprint. Okay, so now if I click play, you will find that event begin play is now working and you can move around, but you will also find that the helmet has reattached itself to the original body. That's why it's now floating above the head, so we have to fix that. Okay, so I expected that, and it's supposed to happen, and the way we fix that is by calling another function that is also available in this blueprint. That function is set mesh master pose. It fixes the mismatching of mesh animations. Okay, so under the Matilda blueprint, we are going to add another function. We're going to say master pose. So call set master pose metahuman. Okay, so yeah, so what we want to do with this is we want to actually, we don't want to call, we want to bind event. Sorry about that. So let's type bind set master pose. Okay, let's bind that so that whenever this is called in the metahuman, the master pose, or rather the leader, okay, the leader pose is called, and all those meshes that are floating above the head can actually be fixed. Okay, so I'm gonna drag out from the event node there, and I'm gonna add a custom event. Okay, and I'm gonna call it set leader. Okay, I'm gonna drag that and connect it to the set master pose and set leader pose. One last thing that we want to do is we want to let us add, there's one more function in the advanced character blueprint. It's called using female metahuman. So if I type using here, so using female metahuman, let's set that to true so that our advanced character blueprint always knows that we're using a female metahuman, and when it's setting the meshes, it will always set meshes for a female metahuman. It will set a helmet for a female metahuman, it will set a chest for a female metahuman, hair, so on and so forth. Okay, actually, just for good measure, let's go ahead and add the torso, the legs, and the feet in case we ever use them. Let's go and add those also as targets to the set leader pose component. Okay, let's also go ahead and add the mesh. Okay, so grab the mesh and add that as well. Okay, so that every single skeleton mesh we have actually follows the metahuman body. Okay, so I think that's everything that we have to do there. It's all set up. Let's test it out and see if it is working. So this needs to be true. Sorry about that. Set it to true. Please make sure that's true, otherwise it won't work. Okay, let's just add a delay over here so that it doesn't fire together with the metahuman begin play. So yeah, just the way it is. We add a delay there. Save that, and basically I think this is all you have to do to get your metahuman functioning correctly. Let's hit play, and yeah, everything's working. Other than the gun not being attached to the metahuman's hands, basically everything else is working. Let's try and fix that gun. Okay, so rather than fix that, let's just make a new mesh. So let's toggle visibility here. You can even delete it, but anyway, toggle visibility, set it to off, and let's add a skeleton mesh. Let's call it gun meta. Okay, right now it's attached to the original gun. We don't need that. Let's attach it to the metahuman root, to the metahuman root. Sorry, and let's close the search, and under skeleton mesh let's set it to heavy machine gun, and let's compile that. It's in the viewport there. Let's click and drag it to the blueprint. Let's add an attach component to component node. Attach component to component. Let's add it here, and let's add that there. Okay, let's set the rule to snap to target on location, snap to target on rotation. Snap to target on scale, we're not going to do that. Scale, we'll just leave scale the way it is. That's because we're going to set our own scale for this gun. We're going to set it to 0.75 because it's a bit too large for this character. Actually, it's already been set to 0.75. I think that's because it was under the gun first. Okay, so if yours isn't set to 0.75, just set it to 0.75. Otherwise, it's too big for this character. It will start clipping through the ground. On the socket name, set it to rifle, and basically that should work now. I don't see it. That's because we have not set the parent. So the parent should be the body. Okay, so the body is the parent, and that should work now. And I think there's one more thing we'll have to do. So the gun is working. Yeah, there's one more thing we'll have to do. If you look closely, the physics aren't working. That's why the ammunition is just floating around in the air. So let's click on that gun, go to the physics, type physics in the search bar under the details, and set it to simulate physics. Set that to true. And one other thing, set it to a physics actor under collision. So let's search for collision, and under collision preset, let's set this to physics actor and save that out, and everything should work now. I think we're almost done with this blueprint. Yep, everything works. Even when we change the mesh, so we set another mesh, it no longer starts floating around in the air. It all works. Okay, so as I was saying, there's just one more thing we have to do here. We actually need to use okay, I'll just show you in the blueprints. We need to use the correct body, otherwise this happens. Okay, so in order to fix this, the reason this is happening is because I'm trying to remove the armor so that I can have the clothing underneath the armor show, but it's not set up correctly yet, so let's just do that last step. Let's go for the viewport, and in order to fix that, let's select the body and make it invisible, because the customization is not looking at the Metahuman's body, it's looking at the body in the original blueprint. So let's make this invisible. Sorry, visibility. Let's type visibility, not invisible. Let's make this invisible and make sure it's set to always tick and refresh bonds, and let's go for the base armor. Okay, so we go for the base armor. Sorry about that. We go for the base armor, and under the details panel, don't close the details panel, I just did that by mistake. Under the details panel, let's set the skeletal mesh to the tall, medium female body. We want the base armor for the tall, medium female. It's this one. Okay, Under the content browser, you'll find it. Obviously you know by now, maybe if you don't, you'll find it in the skeletal meshes, tall female, tall medium, SK metahuman tall female. Okay, that's the one that we've just selected there. What you're going to leave the animation class as none. Let's just compile that and save it. And then in the event graph, let's just make sure we've added that base armor. Okay. I remember not adding this. I don't know how it's appeared, but if you don't have this, go to the base armor, add it here, and add it as a target. Okay, make sure it's there. And once you've done that, last thing we want to do, this is gonna cause a lot of problems. We've actually put it in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Just move it back here and connect it. The event begin play only needs to happen once. Okay, if we have it happening multiple times, it will obviously confuse a lot of things. Yeah. So please make sure that your event begin plays at the beginning and not here. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Let's hit play. Let's hit I. Click that button. Everything works fine. Yeah, it all works. And basically that is how, excuse me, that's how you can set up the female character. Some things might need to be done differently for the male character, so I'm just going to save, and we're going to try and quickly set up the male character now. So let's delete that, and okay, I think we'll do it in the next tutorial so that we just have it separately, specifically for those who want to set up male characters. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.